Hello everyone, it's me, Anthony Coach, a guitarist on YouTube. Shred is a genre of music, a style of playing that divides people. Whichever side you fall on, I think we can all agree that there are just certain myths to do with that style of playing. I want to bust those myths today. Now, it's going to come as no shock to you as I sit here in front of you with my fluorescent red RG550 that I quite like shred. So take this with a pinch of salt if you don't like shred. It's just an opinion of some bloke on the internet. But I want to get started straight away with myth number one. It's mindless. How many times, as you've been on guitar message boards, YouTube comments, Facebook groups, have you seen the word mindless put before the word shred? A lot, I'm gonna guess. That word mindless, what does it imply to you? It implies to me a lack of thought. To say that, you know, a shredder, someone who plays fast on their instruments, which I'm gonna get onto in a minute, someone who plays fast on their instrument, somehow then, as they progress and get faster, suddenly a switch just goes off and they go, no, I don't care about anything else, I'm just going to play fast. That is simply not the case. You don't reach that point and have put that many hours into your craft, into whatever instrument it is, without using your brain. You certainly don't write songs either that have got so many notes in there without using your brain. That can't be mindless. The music that I'm thinking about as I talk about that, and I'm sure you're thinking about the same kind of music, is often progressive, often prog, you know, prog rock, whatever. It's not verse, chorus, lots of different sections. Each and every note, each and every key change and chord change has been planned, thought about meticulously, practiced within an inch of its life, and then presented to the world. They've put a lot of pride and time and effort and blood and sweat and tears into that music, into their passion. So to call it mindless is a massive myth. There is so much thought power that goes into one shred song. Okay, number two, speed is everything. It's just about playing fast. Simply not the case. No matter what the song is, you know, those really successful, the big names of shred, you know who I'm talking about. They're not just going up and down scales as fast as they can. Sometimes they are, but most of the time, there is so much more going on. The note choice, for one, outlining chord changes, implying harmonies that aren't there within the chord, or the backing band, or whatever. They're simply doing that at a faster speed than maybe an average audience is used to. So maybe it does sound like it's too fast to compute. Let's not just do away with the sheer amount of other stuff that's going on there. You know, the songwriting for one, but that goes into point one, myth one. I'm talking basic articulation, things like slides, bends, vibrato, hammer-ons, pull-offs. I teach a lot of people who want to do the shred stuff, and I think they think it's just picking everything, which of course there's a lot of that, and that sounds nice and it's fun and it's cool, and I do teach that. But then I think it's easy to overlook the other stuff, the basics. Things like, you know, that articulation. To play a note, to play one note on a guitar, you can approach doing that in a lot of ways. Not infinite, but a lot. It's not just about playing fast. You've got to think about literally everything. It's got to be a ground up approach. Okay, number three, you need expensive or the latest gear. No, you really don't. Now, never in a month of Sundays am I ever going to shame anyone for wanting to spend their hard-earned money on whatever they want. If you've got expensive gear and it brings you great joy, I couldn't be happier for you. However, I'm talking more about the people who think that buying stuff will make them sound like they're heroes. Don't forget, your shred playing heroes get given that gear because they are already incredible on their instrument. It's not the other way around. It's not that they were practicing up and comers and they were just about getting there, and someone said, stick this pickup in your guitar. They put it in, and then they went, oh wow, now I sound incredible. We know it doesn't work like that, but I think that the marketing plays up to that. You know, they chase the incredible players because they want to imply that that is what's happening. And let me tell you something as well. This isn't just a myth in the guitar world. I dabble with other instruments as well. Saxophone for one. That's the same. It's the same. You want to sound like your favourite saxophonist? You need this mouthpiece. Okay, how much does it cost? £800 for a mouthpiece. Okay, so if I get that, I'm going to sound like Charlie Parker? Maybe not. It's mostly marketing, but it's definitely that they put their product in the hands of people who simply practiced. Buy whatever gear you want because you want it. That's an amazing feeling to do that. And it brings us great joy as guitarists, but don't fall into the trap of thinking that owning that gear is going to make you sound faster or better. That's all to do with practice, I'm afraid. Okay, speaking of practice, here's number 4. You've either got it or you've not. Now, I'm not going to say everyone can do it. It's practice. You just got to practice, 10,000 hours. That's not because I don't believe that. Of course I believe that. I'm a guitar teacher. I champion that. Practice and you'll get there. I'm just not going to mention it because we know it. You want to get good at something, you practice it. Right? What I'm really talking about is that comparison that we make every day when we're surrounded by, scrolling on our favourite social media apps and we see all those incredible players, super famous and not super famous, and then the comparison, the mind games start to creep in and you start to just think, I've got a job, I've got a full-time job, I'll never get there. I'll never be able to put in those 10,000 hours that are apparently what I needed. I don't know whether that's true or not. It's a myth. It's just practice. It is hours and time. You've just got to be clever with your time. That old cliche of work smart, not work hard. Just find ways in your day to put aside for practice. But above all else, go easy on yourself. Don't think that you won't get there, because if you have that mindset, it's just going to help you to not get there. If you switch that mindset and think it's just time, I'm doing what I need to do, I'm putting in those hours, the rest takes care of itself and you will achieve shred. Okay, the last one, I've been waiting for this one. Only guitarists shred, or only rock and metal guitarists shred. That cliche of the rock and metal guitarist playing a shred solo for 5 minutes while the rest of the band plays power chords. I don't know why the guitarist gets such a bad rap with this one. Playing fast, if that's what we're going to define shred as, has been going on for far longer than the guitar was even invented for. Why is it that someone like John Coltrane can shred on his instrument, firing on all cylinders on a jazz standard, but then somehow that gets a free pass? Or, I don't know, a piano concerto from Beethoven. Really virtuosic. That gets called virtuosic. They're virtuosos, not shredders. That's different, that's classy. If a guitarist takes the time to practice their instrument, they're a mindless shredder. There we go, I think I've just struck upon it, that it's just a little bit of a label that gets labelled on the guitarist, the electric guitarist especially, to be, what kind of music do you play? A shredder. Oh, she's just a shredder. He's just a shredder. But then if the same person is playing flute super fast, then that's virtuosic. They're a virtuoso. They're not a shredder. It's a weird one. I think that shred, playing fast, is not limited to guitar, and that's a nice thing. We all like listening to fast music. Anyway, I've talked a lot. What do you think the misconceptions or myths are? Myth conceptions. What are the myth conceptions about shred? Let me know in the comments down there. Thank you for sticking with this one. I can see on the camera I'm going to have to edit this one down. Thank you especially to these names. They support me on Patreon. Come and join us on the Facebook guitar community. We'd love to see you there. We can talk more about myths, myth conceptions. I'm still Anthony Couch. and I'm sure you're still who you are as well. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.